Scales 13 Raw and Uncut, Episode 3. All right, so we're going to start right now by showing you the difference of what the enclosures look like when the lights are completely on and when I turn them off around 5 p.m. so that way you can see the light difference. All right, guys, now you can see what the enclosures look like after the plant lights have been turned off in the enclosure. Hey, Gex. What's up, buddy? So the leopard geckos don't waste much time getting active as soon as the lights go out in the leopard geckos enclosures. And the reason that I do this is because, of course, in nature we have dusk and we have dawn, right? And with leopard geckos being a crepuscular species, I want to give the animals the option to have lighting where they're still getting exposure to UVB without having all the brightness as you would see in nature in the middle of the day. And that's what I'm trying to mimic here. So if you look around the enclosure, you see a lot of shadows, and the only spot where you see light being emitted down is in this one corner of the tank here. And in the rest of the enclosure, you can see, but it's not super bright like it normally would be when I have all the lights on. And of course, the light that I have for the plants is spanning over the entire enclosure. And this one is only located in this small enclosure. And it's the same thing for Tiny Tim's enclosure right here. And wow, look at this, guys. Tiny Tim didn't waste any time coming out. What's up, buddy? Sorry, buddy. Today's not a day for you to be fed. What's up, man? Man, you got some good looking eyes. Anyway. So this is the time where the geckos can come out and absorb some UV rays without hiding as much. During the day, you'll see them stick out their tail or a leg while they're hiding in any of these spots where they're right under where the UV light is. And what that'll do is that'll allow them to absorb those rays while the rest of their body is hidden. But when the brighter lights go out that are for the plants, these guys can just come out, start walking around, because in nature, this is the time where the sun's getting ready to go down. This is when they start becoming active. And even though there's still light outside, these animals will be nice and active. And this is where they'll start looking for food and just doing what geckos do. And as you can see, if you look in the back here, this jungle cactus here is growing wild. This one is so much bigger than what it was months ago. If you look at my old leopard gecko videos from when I first did the bioactive conversion a year ago, this plant was maybe a quarter of the size it was, but now this thing is growing really, really big, and you can see all the new growth right here. And one awesome thing I like about the new growth on this plant is the new growth will always have these little pinkish tips on the ends, and then as it grows out, you'll see the new growth take on this yellow to light green color, and then it becomes dark green as it matures. And as you can see from the soil that I put in, there seems to be a small little plant growing right here. Looks like one of those little common weeds you'll just see in a lawn or something like that. As it grows out, I'll try to ID it by looking at the leaves and doing a little Googling and seeing what type of plant that actually is. But as you can see, these guys are really enjoying this time of day. Now look at Tim here. Doesn't he look great? Man, that is one good looking gecko. Good time to take a picture. Click. Hey, buddy. The other thing too, guys, is that the reason that I've added so much rock to these enclosures is because when you look at the rocky landscapes where you'll actually find these animals, there's a lot of little divots in places where they like to poke their nose in and look for insects. And once in a while, I will throw a dubia roach or two in here and just let the leopard geckos kind of like just crawl around and see if they can find it and hunt it down. Now, of course, they're not going to be very efficient hunters like my Ackie monitor, for example, or even my blue-tongued skink, because my blue-tongued skink is pretty keen at finding whatever insects go in his enclosure as well. But these guys will get a little bit of enrichment too once in a while, where I'll let them chase down an insect or two. Another thing you may notice is in the evening, the humidity will actually spike a little bit in here. So the humidity is usually in the low to mid 50s. And if you looked at my Instagram post that I put up a few days ago, the humidity was about 60%. So when I first start turning off the lights, the humidity rises just a bit. And then when the lights are completely off, it rises to, I say, about 63%. Now that's okay for a leopard gecko. Of course, in my Acumara's enclosure, being that it has a ceiling and it has deeper substrate, and of course the fact that you want more humidity for an Acumara, you'll see a larger spike at night because that's what I provide, right? I provide that moisture in the enclosure for him because that's what he needs. Leopard gecko is like a dryer. So a spike up to about high 50s to low 60% is perfectly fine. And the humidity being lower than that during the day is really, really good. Hey buddy, what's up? What's up, bud? Now, today is not a feeding day on the schedule, so my animals will not be getting fed today. And the thing is, I don't want to lead you guys on like, wow, the leopard geckos are about to get fed, and this, that, and the third. But I have to stick to my feeding schedule because that's the correct thing to do for the animal's health. My leopard geckos eat twice a week. What my leopard geckos normally eat during the week is 1 or 2 insects at a time twice a week. So what my leopard geckos will get is normally dubia roaches, but I will also substitute in mealworms or the occasional hornworm once in a while, just to give them some variety and different nutrition. And one thing that I personally really like about these enclosures is once I get to the evening time where I can actually start hanging out with my leopard geckos and the bright lights go out and they can start crawling around, is it looks really cool in here having all this stone in the enclosure. Because this stone has a lot of different colors on it, from lichens and different things like that growing on them. And that just makes the enclosure pop and really gives a beautiful natural look to it. Now, one thing I do want to change are these backgrounds that are already ready-made by Exoterra. They're not terrible, but I would like something that I could make myself that would look even more natural. So that's a project for the future that I would really like to do. Hey, buddy. Getting tired of me? Alrighty then. Where you going? Where you going? Where did he go? Where is this gecko? It's funny, I'm always trying to figure out where a gecko goes to hide. Oh, wait. No, there he is. You see his tail right there. He's in the back. And yeah, he's getting ready to warm himself up and get ready to eat some food. Now, like I said, I'm not feeding him tonight, but of course with me singing from the enclosure, he's always thinking there's a chance of him getting food. So I'm not going to bother him too much. I'm going to just let this guy crawl around in here. And we're going to get a look at Gex real quick and see where he is. Is he warming up his body too? Nope, he's still in here. Getting ready to come out in a little bit. Let me see if we can just see his face one more time. Oh, don't you think that that's a worm or something, bud? Sorry. Normally he just turns around, but he looked like he was ready to snap kind of quick. It's all right, bud. Feeding day's tomorrow. You get fed tomorrow, okay? Well, at any rate, guys, I hope you liked this video. We got a chance to hang out with the leopard geckos, and I could show you actually how I turn off my lights periodically, so that way the animals get a chance to be in full brightness during the day and get a mid-range and get a lower amount of brightness during the evening, and then of course complete darkness. So I hope you guys like this video of hanging out with the leopard geckos, and I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I do my lighting, where I turn it off periodically. I let the light go in full brightness all day with the combination of the plant lights and the UVB, The plant lights go off around 5 p.m. and then from 5 p.m. till about 8 p.m. I keep the shade dweller UVBs on, and then at 8 p.m. at night I turn everything off and I keep it pitch black, just like how it is in nature. Hope everyone has a great day. I hope you enjoyed my geckos. Peace.